Okay, so it's an architectural term. So like if you built two rounded archways next to each other, adjacent, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll leave above them an empty V-shaped space. And that space is called the spandrel. And then evolutionary biologists borrow the term to describe a trait that has no functional value, but is the byproduct of selection for a useful adaptation. So like your tailbone, it's a spandrel. Or like nipples on people who don't lactate, that's a spandrel. And anthropologists suggest that our human tendency towards belief in the supernatural results from selection for a trait called agent detection, which is our ability to assign motives to that which happens outside of ourselves. Like to imagine a story around the empty space around a why. The belief in God is nothing more than an evolutionary accident. Leftover space around a useful adaptation. A spandrel. Spandrel. Once a man held me in his arms like a question mark, and for the first time, I wished there could be two objects with no space between them. Spandrel. My father taught me grief is like a hole inside of you. Mourning doesn't fill the hole. It is simply how we learn to live around it. Spandrel. When I was 15, God or something like it plucked a hole in me, and my hearing began to drip out slowly, leaving behind an empty space, the space filled with a piercing ring that aches and wakes me in the night. Spandrel. I learned to love from stories of boys with waking boomboxes held above their heads and pillars of salt. The story goes, love is love when it turns its object's name into a seraphim, their voice into a prayer. Spandrel. Sometimes I hear voices in the ringing. Sometimes I hear the voice of the man who held me in his arms like a question mark. Sometimes I hear the voice of God. Sometimes I cannot tell the difference. Spandrel. The thing about love and death is that they both turn humans into gods without asking. Spandrel. Sometimes I hear voices in the ringing. Sometimes I hear the crack of the rope he hung from in a quarry outside Cincinnati. I do not know the shape of it. I imagine a gaping empty space. Spandrel. I do not wish to make this man a god. I do not wish to erase the callous in his voice or the careless moments of greed. I do not wish to write him into my own mythology, to absolve an empty space in the spandrels at San Marco in Venice, Italy, are carved portraits of angels. Onlookers crane their necks upwards to gaze upon them towards heaven and forget the ground. Spandrel. Once I fell in love the way the story goes, and I forgot my own name. The story goes you will be loved into a hole. The story goes you are born with a hole inside of you, the shape of your lover's arm or ear or crooked neck. The story goes you will look upon your lover and see heaven in your eyes. Spandrel. I do not wish to forget your eyes for heaven. I do not wish for a love that cranes my neck upwards and away from this earth. Spandrel. I try to hold myself at night like a question mark, but cannot coax my body into arching, because it is harder for me to imagine a story that ends in a trans body coming than it is for me to imagine a story that ends in a trans body coming back from the dead. Spandrel. I'm afraid to be loved like a symbol. I'm afraid to be loved like a myth, like a monolith, like a mystery. Spandrel. I am afraid of a love that will turn me to false god only to prove me fallacy. Spandrel. There are voices in the ringing. In the silence, there is a song. And I know he is not waiting for me out there in the gaping air, but I swear to God, I hear something. Thanks.
Come on!
That's my roommate. My roommate.
Hey!
Woo!
Awesome.
Oh my God.
Uh,
Whoa.
Wow. Wow.
It's good that my roommates are here because what if I do shows and they're not here, that I'm just yelling alone in my room. That's just me yelling alone in my room. Okay, I was gonna maybe read one more small poem.
Woo!
Cool. It's about cock sucking. So I thought maybe that would be okay. It's a sonnet, which doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what that is, but it just means that it was harder. Okay. It's a sonnet for cock sucking and baptism, and this is about it's about how great it is that cocks aren't only things that grow on your body. Cool. Sonnet for cock sucking and baptism. Forgive me, Lord, for I have a mouthful of dicks and not all of them organic. Forgive me the virgin coconut oil in lieu of water-based lube, like I think I'm better than that or some shit. Anointed dick. I grease the word and coat my tongue in it. Let all I lap be wrapped and swaddled in. I spit and poof, magic. Watch the plastic twitch. Lord, inside my salve, your accidents grow stiff. Suck fist to dick. The knuckle dick. I laughed. Dick Midas, now the sky is dick. I lift my lips to dick. I speak the name you chose yourself aloud. And we feel it. Every inch. Thanks, that's all I got. Thank you so much.